What if I told you that someone in your life right now is literally losing sleep thinking about you? That they're replaying every conversation you've had, analyzing every text message, and creating scenarios in their head where you two are together? And the crazy part? You probably have no idea because they're hiding it so well that even their closest friends don't know. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to spot these hidden signs that someone is absolutely burning with desire for you. And trust me, once you learn these 7 deep psychological signs, you'll never look at the people around you the same way again. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She called me last month, completely frustrated. She said, "I swear, guys just aren't interested in me anymore. Nobody seems to notice me." Meanwhile, I'm watching her at a coffee shop the next day, and I counted 3 different guys who were practically melting just watching her exist. One guy accidentally bumped into her table twice, another kept walking past her seat for no reason, and the barista? He gave her a free pastry and turned bright red when she smiled. Sarah had no clue. None. She was so focused on looking for obvious signs that she missed all the subtle, deep psychological signals that were screaming, "I'm attracted to you." And that's exactly what happens to most of us. We're looking for movie-level drama when real attraction often whispers before it ever shouts. So today, I'm going to share the 7 signs that psychology research shows us are the most reliable indicators that someone is secretly burning with desire for you. These aren't the obvious ones everyone talks about, these are the deep, subconscious behaviors that people can't control even when they're trying to hide their feelings. Sign number 1. They remember everything you say. The first sign is something I call selective memory syndrome, and it's absolutely fascinating. When someone is deeply attracted to you, their brain literally rewires itself to prioritize information about you. Here's what I mean. You mention in passing that you love raspberry tea, and 3 weeks later, they show up with raspberry tea because they were at the store and remembered. You complain about being tired on a Tuesday, and on Friday they ask how your week turned out. You mention your sister's birthday is coming up, and they actually remember to ask how it went. But here's the kicker, this same person probably can't remember what they had for lunch yesterday, or where they put their keys this morning. Their brain is selectively filing away everything about you because, subconsciously, you've become important enough to remember. I had a client tell me about a coworker who remembered that she mentioned loving sunflowers in a random conversation 6 months earlier. 6 months! When her birthday came around, guess what showed up on her desk? She thought it was just him being nice, but psychology tells us something different. When someone's brain decides you're worth remembering, that's not friendship, that's their subconscious mind saying this person matters to me on a deeper level. The crazy part? They often don't even realize they're doing it. They'll brush it off like, "Oh, I just have a good memory," but ask them what their other coworkers mentioned in casual conversation 6 months ago, and they'll draw a blank. Your information gets VIP treatment in their memory bank, and that's not an accident. Sign number 2. Their body language mirrors yours without them realizing it. Sign number 2 is something that happens completely below the radar of conscious awareness, and it's called unconscious mirroring. When someone is deeply attracted to you, their body literally starts copying yours without them even knowing it. Watch for this: if you lean forward, they lean forward. If you cross your arms, they cross their arms. If you touch your face, within a few seconds they touch their face. It's like their body is trying to be in sync with yours. And it happens because attraction creates this subconscious desire to connect and harmonize. But here's where it gets really interesting, it's not just big movements. People who are attracted to you will mirror your breathing patterns, they'll match your speaking pace, and they'll even start using similar hand gestures when they talk. It's like their body is saying, "I want to be like you. I want to be close to you," without their mind having any say in it. I remember watching my friend Lisa at a group dinner, and there was this guy across from her who was clearly interested. Every time she picked up her water glass, within 30 seconds he'd reach for his. When she leaned back in her chair, he did the same. When she started talking with her hands, suddenly he became more animated too. She had no idea, but his entire body was having a conversation with hers. The really telling part is what happens when you test it. Next time you suspect someone might be attracted to you, try this. Change your posture or do something subtle like touch your hair or adjust your sleeve. If they're truly attracted, their body will follow your lead within a minute or two. It's like their subconscious is constantly saying, I want to be connected to this person through physical mimicry. This is different from someone who's just being polite or friendly. Casual friends don't mirror your body language consistently. But someone who's burning with attraction for you, their body betrays their feelings every single time. Sign number 3. They find excuses to extend conversations. The third sign is what I call conversation clinging, and once you know what to look for, you'll see it everywhere. When someone is deeply attracted to you, they will find any reason, and I mean any reason, to keep talking to you, even when logic says they should go. Picture this. They need to leave for work, they're already running late, they've said goodbye twice, but somehow they're still standing there talking to you about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Or you're at the end of a group hangout, everyone else has left, and they're suddenly very interested in helping you clean up, even though you've told them you've got it handled. What's happening here is that their brain is fighting a battle between logic and desire. Logic says you need to leave, you have things to do, but desire says, but I don't want this to end. I want more time with this person. And desire usually wins. I had a friend tell me about a guy at her gym who would finish his entire workout, shower, get dressed, and then somehow always end up in another conversation with her by the front desk. He'd literally be walking toward the exit, see her, and suddenly remember he needed to ask about the gym's class schedule or comment on the weather. This happened for weeks before she realized what was actually going on. The key difference is in the quality of these extended conversations. Someone who's just being friendly might chat a bit longer, but someone who's attracted to you will bring up new topics, ask follow-up questions, and seem genuinely disappointed when the conversation finally has to end. They'll also do this thing where they'll start wrapping up the conversation, then suddenly think of one more thing they wanted to tell you, and then another one more thing. It's like they're buying time, hoping something will happen that gives them a reason to stay longer. Pay attention to their body language during these moments too. If they're checking their phone or looking around, they're probably just being polite. But if they're fully focused on you, making eye contact, and seem to forget about everything else going on around them, that's someone who doesn't want to leave your presence. Sign number 4. They get nervous or awkward around you, but not around others. Sign number 4 might surprise you because we often think attraction makes people smoother, but the truth is, intense attraction often makes people nervous, and here's why. When someone really likes you, suddenly every interaction feels like it matters. The stakes feel higher. They start second-guessing themselves because they don't want to mess up their chances with someone they genuinely care about. So watch for this. Someone who's normally confident and articulate becomes a little clumsy with their words around you. They might stumble over simple sentences, forget what they were saying mid-thought, or laugh at things that aren't really that funny. Their hands might fidget more, they might touch their hair or face more often, or they might seem like they're trying just a little too hard to be impressive. But here's the key detail that makes this a real sign: they're only nervous around you. With other people, they're their normal, confident selves. But something about your presence makes them feel vulnerable and exposed, like you can see right through them. I watched this happen with a client of mine. There was a guy in her office who was known for being this super smooth talker, great with clients, always had the perfect thing to say. But around her, he'd forget people's names, spill his coffee, and once he even walked into a glass door while trying to hold it open for her. With everyone else, he was Mr. Smooth. With her, he turned into a teenage boy with a crush. The reason this happens is actually beautiful when you think about it. When someone is deeply attracted to you, you become important to them. And when someone becomes important, our brain starts overthinking everything. They're not nervous because they don't like you, they're nervous because they like you so much that they're terrified of screwing it up. You might also notice they're more quiet around you than usual, but it's not because they're bored. They're listening intently to everything you say, processing it, trying to come up with the perfect response. Sometimes attraction makes people chatty, but just as often, it makes them careful and deliberate with their words because they want to make sure they say the right thing. Sign number 5. they go out of their way to help you, even with small things. The fifth sign is something I call service motivation, and it's one of the most reliable indicators of hidden attraction. When someone is burning with desire for you, they develop this almost compulsive need to make your life easier, better, or more pleasant in any way they can. This isn't just big gestures like helping you move or fixing your car. I'm talking about small, seemingly insignificant acts of service that they volunteer for without being asked. They'll offer to grab you coffee when they're getting their own. They'll text you when they see something on sale that you mention needing. They'll share articles or videos they think you'd find interesting. They'll offer to give you a ride even when it's out of their way. What makes this different from regular kindness is the consistency and the eagerness. A friend might help you out occasionally, but someone who's attracted to you will look for opportunities to help. They'll remember that you have a big presentation coming up and check in on how it went. They'll notice you're stressed and show up with your favorite snack. They'll offer solutions to problems you haven't even asked for help with. I know a woman whose coworker would bring her lunch every Friday for months. Not because she asked, not because she couldn't afford her own lunch, but because he'd noticed she often skipped lunch when she was busy. He told her it was no big deal and that he was going there anyway. But the truth was, he was going out of his way to take care of her because that's what people do when they're attracted to someone they want to nurture and provide. Here's the psychology behind it. When we're attracted to someone, we subconsciously want to prove our worth as a potential partner. And one of the most basic ways humans show they'd be a good partner is by demonstrating that they can and will take care of the other person's needs. The key thing to watch for is whether they seem genuinely happy when they're helping you. Someone who's just being nice might help but seem neutral about it. Someone who's attracted to you will light up when you accept their help. They'll seem almost excited to be useful to you because every act of service feels like they're building a connection with you. Sign number 6. They remember and celebrate your wins, big and small. Sign number 6 is about something I call victory witnessing, and it's incredibly telling. When someone is deeply attracted to you, your successes become their successes. They don't just remember your wins, they celebrate them like they're personally invested in your happiness. This goes way beyond just saying congratulations when something good happens to you. I'm talking about someone who genuinely lights up when you share good news, who asks follow-up questions about your achievements, who brings up your successes later in conversation because they're still thinking about how happy you looked when you told them. They'll remember that you had a job interview and text you the next day to ask how it went. They'll celebrate when you finish a project you've been working on, even if it has nothing to do with them. They'll get excited about your small victories like finally mastering a recipe you've been struggling with or finishing a book you've been reading forever. But here's what makes this really special. They celebrate your wins even when it doesn't benefit them at all. In fact, sometimes your success might actually make their life more complicated, like if you get a promotion that means you'll be busier, or if you achieve a goal that might take you further away from them, but they're still genuinely happy for you because your happiness matters to them more than their own convenience. I had a client whose friend would screenshot her social media posts about her achievements and send them to her with messages like "I'm so proud of you" or "You're amazing." This wasn't someone trying to get something from her, this was someone who was so attracted to her that her successes felt like his own personal victories. The reason this happens is because when someone is attracted to you, they start to see themselves as being on your team. Your wins feel like team wins. Your happiness becomes tied to their happiness. They want to see you succeed because they're genuinely invested in your well-being and your future. Pay attention to how people react when you share good news. Most people will say something polite and then move on to talking about themselves or other topics. But someone who's attracted to you will want to hear all the details, will ask questions, and will bring it up again later because they genuinely care about the things that make you happy. Sign number 7. They show up consistently. The 7th and final sign is what I call gravitational consistency, and it's probably the most powerful indicator of all. When someone is truly attracted to you, they don't just show up when it's easy or convenient, they show up consistently, even when life gets complicated. This means they'll make time for you when they're busy. They'll show up to your events even when they have other options. They'll check in on you when they're going through their own stuff. They'll prioritize spending time with you even when it means saying no to other things. But here's what makes this really telling. They don't make a big deal about it. They don't constantly mention all the things they're giving up or rearranging to spend time with you. They just show up consistently, because being around you feels important to them. I know someone whose friend would drive 45 minutes every weekend just to hang out with her, even though there were plenty of people he could spend time with in his own neighborhood. When she asked him about it, he'd just shrug and say something like, "I like hanging out with you," like it was the most natural thing in the world. This consistency extends to communication too. They'll text you back reliably. They'll remember plans you've made. They'll follow through on things they say they'll do. Not because they're trying to impress you, but because you've become a priority in their life, and priorities get consistent attention. The psychology behind this is simple but profound. When someone is attracted to you, spending time with you doesn't feel like an obligation or a favor, it feels like exactly where they want to be. So they'll consistently choose to be around you, even when it requires effort or sacrifice. The key difference is between someone who shows up when it's convenient versus someone who makes it convenient to show up. Someone who's just being friendly will hang out when the timing works out perfectly. Someone who's attracted to you will make the timing work because they don't want to miss opportunities to be around you. Watch for the person who consistently chooses you, chooses to text you, chooses to make plans with you, chooses to include you, even when they have other options. That's not coincidence. That's attraction creating a magnetic pull toward your presence. So there you have it, 7 deep signs that someone you know might be burning with intense desire for you. Let me recap them quickly. They remember everything you say, even the random stuff. Their body language unconsciously mirrors yours. They find excuses to extend conversations. They get nervous around you but not around others. They go out of their way to help you with small things. They remember and celebrate your wins. And they show up consistently, even when it's not convenient. Now, here's what I want you to remember. These signs aren't about playing games or trying to decode every single interaction you have with people. They're about recognizing when someone's subconscious mind is telling you something their conscious mind might not be ready to admit yet. And here's the beautiful thing about understanding these signs: it's not just about figuring out who likes you. It's about recognizing the people in your life who genuinely value you, who see you as important, who want to be part of your world. Whether that turns into romance or not, these are the people worth investing your time and energy in. But I want to give you one pro tip that I've learned from years of studying human behavior. The most attractive thing you can do is to be someone who exhibits these behaviors toward others, not because you're trying to manipulate or impress anyone, but because you genuinely care about the people in your life. When you remember what matters to people, when you show up consistently, when you celebrate their wins and help them through their struggles, you become the kind of person that others are naturally drawn to. You become someone worth burning with desire for. So my challenge for you is this: take what you've learned today and first apply it to how you treat the people you care about. Be the person who remembers, who shows up, who celebrates others. Not only will this make you incredibly attractive, but it will also help you build the kind of deep, meaningful connections that make life beautiful. If this video opened your eyes to some behaviors you've been missing, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which sign surprised you the most. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's been wondering if that special person in their life might feel the same way, share this video with them. Sometimes we all need a little help reading the signs. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more insights into the psychology of attraction and relationships. I post new videos every week that will help you understand yourself and the people around you on a deeper level. Until next time, remember, you are worthy of being desired, you are worthy of being chosen, and you are worthy of someone who shows up for you consistently. Don't settle for anything less.